welcome to our channel Random Stories. Today we are discovering the mystery of museums. A hush fell over the crowded hall. Exhibits gleamed under soft lights. A sense of wonder hung in the air, quickly replaced by unease. The museum's prized possession, a jeweled scarab, vanished. Only a cryptic note remained. Its message, a riddle taunting the very heart of the museum. The grand hall, usually alive with hushed whispers of awe, now buzzed with anxiety. Patrons, herded like startled birds, exchanged worried glances. At the scene's heart stood Inspector Davies, a man whose sharp eyes missed nothing. He surveyed the room, his gaze lingering on the empty pedestal where the scarab once sat. The inspector, known for his methodical approach, started his investigation. He questioned the staff, their faces etched with worry and confusion. Each answer, each alibi was a piece of the puzzle meticulously examined by the detective. The weight of the stolen artifact, a symbol of a bygone era, pressed down on the investigation. Dr. Lewis, the museum curator, stood ashen-faced. His life's work, protecting these historical treasures, seemed to crumble around him. He paced, his voice trembling as he answered the inspector's questions. The theft cut deep, a personal affront to his dedication and expertise. The inspector, though sympathetic, remained objective. Dr. Lewis, despite his distress, was a suspect. His knowledge of the museum, the artifacts and security protocols was unparalleled. The pressure mounted with each passing moment as the investigation gained momentum. Suspicion fell upon several individuals. There was Miss Sinclair, the ambitious historian, her eyes reflecting a hunger for recognition. Mr. Thorne, the disgruntled collector, whose recent donation was rejected, seemed to harbor resentment. Even Mrs. Eldridge, the seemingly harmless benefactor, couldn't escape scrutiny. The museum, once a sanctuary of knowledge, transformed into a stage for secrets and lies. Each suspect, with their hidden motives and strained alibis, added another layer to the intricate tapestry of the crime. The inspector, a seasoned hunter of truth, observed, listened and pieced together the fragments of the mystery. Inspector Davies, with his quiet intensity, began to unravel the threads of the case. He studied the riddle, its cryptic verses hinting at the thief's motive. He analyzed the security footage, searching for any anomaly, any telltale sign overlooked. His mind, a steel trap, held each detail, waiting for the pieces to align. Days turned into nights, the museum echoing with the ghost of the missing scarab. The pressure to solve the case mounted, fueled by the media frenzy and public scrutiny. Yet the inspector remained undeterred, his resolve hardening with each dead end, his sharp mind refusing to rest. The investigation led down a winding path of false leads and red herrings. A glove, seemingly misplaced, pointed towards Miss Sinclair, but it proved to be a dead end. Mr. Thorne's alibi, though shaky, checked out under closer examination. Even Mrs. Eldridge's nervous demeanor proved to be a result of her failing health, not guilt. The case, once seemingly straightforward, became a tangled web of deceit. Each suspect, cleared of suspicion, left a void in the narrative. The inspector, however, remained undeterred, his intuition whispering that the truth lay hidden beneath the surface of carefully constructed facades. The breakthrough came unexpectedly, a tiny detail overlooked, a smudged fingerprint on the display case, barely visible to the naked eye. It matched none of the suspects, leading the inspector down a new path, a path that led to the museum's seemingly innocuous security guard, Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, a man of quiet routine and unassuming demeanor, had been invisible, blending into the background. Yet the fingerprint, a silent accusation, shattered his facade. The inspector, with a heavy heart, realized that the quietest individuals often harbored the deepest secrets. Confronted with the evidence, Mr. Evans confessed. Driven by a desperate need to settle his ailing wife's medical debts, he succumbed to temptation. The riddle, he revealed, was a last-minute addition, a desperate attempt to outsmart the authorities. His confession, laced with remorse and regret, painted a tragic picture. The weight of his actions, the betrayal of trust, was etched on his face. The stolen scarab, recovered from a pawnbroker, became a symbol of his downfall, a stark reminder of the consequences of his choices. Just when the case seemed closed, a final twist emerged. The recovered scarab, though identical, was a clever forgery. The real artifact remained missing. Mr. Evans, though guilty of attempted theft, was not the mastermind behind the original heist. The investigation took a sharp turn, the inspector now facing a new puzzle. Who had orchestrated this elaborate scheme, using Mr. Evans as a pawn? The answer, he realized, lay hidden within the museum's walls, concealed by layers of deception and obscured by misdirection. The true mastermind, as it turned out, was Dr. Lewis himself. Overwhelmed by debt and fearing for his reputation, he had devised the intricate plan. He had planted the forgery, intending to sell the real scarab later. His distressed facade, his air of innocence, had been a masterful performance. With the truth revealed, the stolen scarab was recovered from Dr. Lewis's private collection. Justice was served, the weight of the law falling upon the once respected curator. The museum, its treasures restored, slowly began to heal, the echoes of the mystery fading into whispers of cautionary tales.